Guys, breaking news in the NBA. The Bucks just fired Adrian Griffen mid-season after starting 30-13 out of nowhere. And then I get back from the gym, right, late night, kind of tired, bored, blah, blah, blah. I shower, eat. I'm on my phone scrolling through Instagram. They hired Doc Rivers. They replaced him with Doc Rivers. Let's talk about it because that is super interesting. Like, I did not see that coming. They got off to a 30-13 start with a year one head coach. And sure, the defense wasn't as good as they thought it would be. Sure, you still have Giannis, you still have Brook Lopez. You would want the defense to be that good. But I don't think it constitutes a firing. Like, that actually blows my mind. It does not make sense to me. Mid-season, too? And sure, maybe they think firing him is the right move. But do you think bringing in a coach halfway through the year is also the right move? Because I don't know. I don't know about all that. Now, did I think Adrian was the greatest coach? No. Do I think his replacement is going to be any better? Do I think Doc Rivers is going to be any better? No. And, part of the reason I think that is because Doc Rivers was consulting for Adrian Griffen. So, you fired... let me get this straight. You fired the guy that was getting advice from the guy that you replaced him with. So that doesn't even make sense. You see my TV's on behind me this time? I was watching the Lakers game. I was mid-Lakers game. Battle of LA. They're playing the Clippers. It's a good game. I mean... this is kind of off topic, but the Lakers they don't make three-pointers. They probably should start because they're playing pretty efficiently. The Clippers are playing pretty efficiently. The only difference is the Clippers are making their three-pointers. Anyway, that's besides the point. Apparently they fired him because he had no voice in the locker room. He had no say. And I mean, yesterday, I guess 2 days ago now, so when I'm posting this video, 2 days ago, Giannis was seen drawing up a play just in the huddle. So, I mean, I guess it makes sense. I mean, Giannis didn't want him there, apparently. Didn't really like him, didn't like his philosophies. So, keeping your best player happy, that's what the Bucks have been doing recently. They fired Mike Budenholzer, and they hired Adrian Griffen a couple months ago just to fire him mid-season. But the craziest part to me is that now they're paying 3 head coaches. They're paying Doc Rivers, they're paying Adrian Griffen, and they're still paying off Mike Budenholzer's contract. So, I mean, 4 years, they hired him for 4 years, they fire him 40 years into the season. It just doesn't make sense. Like, it really doesn't. Like, I don't get it. You didn't even give him a chance to, like, maybe get his feet under him or figure out what he's doing, It's his first head coaching stint in the NBA ever. Give the guy some breathing room. Give him a chance. I just don't understand. On top of that, you fire him to bring in Doc Rivers, like I've said, who is a good coach. Veterans like him because he kind of just lets the vets do whatever they want. Like, okay, you want to play this way? Okay, you want to play this way? You're a vet. You're established. Go do it. He coaches good defensive teams. He has good defensive philosophy. I mean, I can't remember the last time a Doc Rivers coach team hasn't had at least a halfway decent defense. Sure, the Sixers weren't the best on defense, but I mean, they were pretty damn good. So, I mean, I'm sure he'll bolster up the defense there, and he is, I don't want to say defensive-minded, but he is defensive intelligent, if that makes sense. For lack of a way to put it, I suppose. But I still just don't, because this season, Giannis is getting older, Dame is older and still getting older. It's kind of championship or bust the next, I'd say, 2 to 3 years for this Bucks team, because, so Brook Lopez is also getting older, right? So you have 3 guys that I'd say your core. Chris Middleton is also aging. So 4 guys that I'd say are your core, that are all aging, that are all integral parts of the core. And you bring in Adrian Dantley because Bud had a first-round exit last year against the Heat, who went on to have a miracle run and make it to the finals. So you lost to the team that was the best in the East. But that's besides the point. Why would you fire your coach after losing to the team that's best in the East? Sure, they were the 8 seed. It's the Heat. They're the Heat 8 seed. They're not a normal 8 seed. Everyone knows this. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent. I'm kind of off topic here. Where even was I? You fire Bud. You bring in Dantley. He's supposed to be this guy. He's Giannis's guy. He's the guy that you thought was good enough to replace him. There were a lot of good head coaches out there. Apparently, Giannis didn't want Nick Nurse, and that's why they hired Adrian Griffen. So I feel like Nick Nurse would have been an even better hire. You definitely would not have fired him. He's a good coach. And now he's on the Sixers, your rivals, a team you need to make it past. And I don't know if you can because Doc Rivers he doesn't have a good playoff record. Now, sure, he makes it there consistently. And that is something people forget. And that is something I would like to say. I give him his flowers for constantly being in the playoffs. I give him his flowers for constantly being in a position to have 16 game sevens, to have coached 16 game sevens. He's 6-10 in those game sevens. He doesn't win a lot of them. He's notorious for choking 3-1 leads. I mean, look at what he just did with the Sixers, right? Sure, you can blame it on Harden having a stinker or Embiid having a stinker in game 6 and 7, but you could also blame it on him not making adjustments and just letting the game play out. Like, I don't know how you can watch that sample size and then cross-reference it to his past of blowing 3-1 leads, and then also cross-reference it to his past of 6-10 in game 7s, and he has won championships, made the playoffs a bunch of times, and I get it. Championships are hard to come by. But, come on. You've been close so many times. I just don't understand it. And I think the Bucks were somewhat serious because I don't know how their defense would have done in the playoffs. And we'll see if Doc can implement something. And another thing about their defense, this is such a random rant, but another thing about this defense is they hire Adrian Griffen, right? He comes in, does his thing. He comes in when they have Jrue Holiday. He implements his defense with a Jrue Holiday still there. Then all of a sudden they get rid of one of the best perimeter defenders, probably the best guard defender in the league right now. And then they bring in one of the worst. And then he makes no changes. He does not touch a single thing. And shocker, it doesn't work. He has a switch everything oriented defense. Dame is switching on to this, that, the other thing. Dame can't stay in front of anyone. Why are you still running that? So maybe that's why they fired him. That is exactly why they fired him, actually. It makes sense, but he's a first-year head coach. Let him get his feet under him. Let him make those mistakes. That's how you grow as a coach. Not even just a coach, just in general, making mistakes is how you grow and learn as a person. So this move is just completely wild to me. Back to Doc Rivers and him not performing in the playoffs and making adjustments. Adrian Griffen was being consulted by Doc Rivers. Adrian Griffen didn't make a change to the defense. Do you think the guy consulting him maybe said, don't make a change? Because that could be a possibility. Now, obviously, we won't know, right? We'll never know. But I think there's a pretty high chance that's what happened. And this move, blows my mind. I just had to come in here and talk about it. This is an unplanned rant. Sorry I'm bouncing all over the place. I'm literally still, I don't know if you call it watching the game. Oh, AD gets fouled. That would have been a cool bucket. That would have been sick to watch. They're low-key making a comeback, though. When I turned around, they were down by 14. Now they're down by 8. Hopefully I didn't jinx it. But Bucks, man, what are you doing? Right. It's just... I was really, really excited to see an Eastern Conference Finals of Bucks Celtics. Because that's kind of who I thought was going to make it out there. Sure, you got the Heat in there. They're the Heat. They have Terry Rozier now. We'll see how that goes for them. Ooh, excuse me. I'm sure it will go good. There's no way that move doesn't work. You have the Sixers with Embiid, who just put up a 70-point game. Wild. Still not too sure about how he is in the playoffs. I mean, he's another guy with a bad playoff track record. So I was really banking on Bucks Celtics in the finals, in the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't know if that's going to happen now anymore because I'm not too sure. I'm not serious about Doc Rivers as a playoff coach in the year 2024. 10 years ago? Yeah, Doc Rivers is a great coach back then. But now I don't know about it. I'm just not sure. One thing I am happy about, though, I did not like listening to him as a broadcaster. Doc Rivers and Doris Burke were probably, to me, the most annoying broadcast I've ever listened to. And now I only have to deal with Doris Burke. So perfect. Save me Doc Rivers, and I can watch Doc Rivers choke. So, it's just the move doesn't make sense to me. I don't really get it. And only time will tell if it was the right move, if it was the right decision. If they win a championship, I'll revisit this video. Feel free to tell me I'm wrong and tell me how wrong I am. But until that happens, man, I don't believe in this team right now. And you still have Dame, you still have Giannis. They're gonna win you games, especially in the regular season. But when the game slows down in the playoffs and adjustments adjustments mean more and quicker adjustments are more important, I don't know if I trust Doc Rivers I don't know if he's the guy to do that. And I'm excited to see how that plays out because my mind is just blown. That's all. Yeah, this has been a Danimals Crush Cup rant. Have a great rest of your day and stay blessed.